to our Tuesday, April 26th, 2022, right? It's been a long time. This is a special school board meeting.
Public hearing.
It is a public hearing. So I call it this public hearing to order. Thank you very much, and we will turn our hearing agenda and discussion to CFO Kathy Erickson.
Thank
so
you.
Welcome. You can shut the door. I mean, I hate to be rude.
No. Thank you. Thank you, board members. As part of the 2020 census, all municipalities, including school districts, were asked to review and potentially provide a change in their election boundaries based on the 2020 census. We were provided information by the Secretary of State's office. We also worked in coordination with the City of Duluth and St. Louis County, including Ian Johnson at the City of Duluth and Phil Chapman from St. Louis County, who were both very helpful as we were kind of walking through this process for the first time, for those of us that have been here. With that, we provided you with some base information so that you could understand that overall, the population, and everyone should have a handout for those that are coming. There's handouts with Patty if you want to see copies of it. We provided the census data by city precinct and then by township on the first page that showed where we saw differences compared to the variance of our average population. So state statute tells us that our job as a municipality is to create the voting districts that are identified in our boundaries as close, as equal as practicable. That's what the statute says. And so looking at where everything fell in either precinct or township, we could see that there was just some slight variances in District 1, which had about 802 population, and to the point that someone mentioned, I think it was Member Sandholm, or no, Member Kirby, that we have to base this on population, not voters. So we had to use population, not voters. So the population of District 1 compared to the total average, which you can find on the bottom of the first page, which is 23,546, taking our total school district population, dividing it by those 4 wards, would give us an average of 23,546. The average in District 1 was high by about 800. District 2 was low, about 869. And then Districts 3 and 4 were 422, and then just short in District 4 of 356. To keep an alignment, we saw that wards Districts 1 and 2, we could utilize some changes in the precincts. And for those that are familiar, the numbers here in each of the wards are the precincts that are established by the City of Duluth. They create the voting precincts and the population that's inside of each one of those precincts. They're rather large, so it wasn't easy for us to just find 800 people to make everything just right on each side or the other. So we had to work within those precincts to keep people voting in the same place and keep in alignment with how the city does their polling places. So with that in mind, and spending many, many hours looking at the City of Duluth map, looking at our overall map, what we came to, because the changes have to be contiguous, they have to touch the boundaries that they're already there if you're moving around. So I can't take something from District 4 and give it to District 1. They have to be in alignment so that we could move lines that were attached. And so the proposal, after many, many hours of trying to do math and to try to make wards Districts 1 and 2 a little bit closer to the average, we found that if we shifted Precinct 3, which is down towards the lake here, which is currently in District 2, and move that to District 1, which had about 2,598 people, and then take District 6, which was in District 1, and move that to District 2. 6 had 3,899. It gave an extra 300 or so to District 2, which they needed, and then we were able to reduce in District 1. So we were able to get the wards closer, less than 500 difference or less than 2% from the variance of the average for the district population. So if the board were to pass the resolution tonight that's in your packet, this would go to the Secretary of State, and then at our next election, which is a year from now, so it's not this fall where many other municipalities are on even year elections, they'd be doing it this fall, we're a year from now. These would be the one small change. These folks, they're still voting in the same place, they're still going to the same polling place, but they would be voting in District 2, and then those folks that were in Precinct 3 would be voting for the representative in District 1. And with that, I'm going to pause to see if anyone has any questions. And I'm checking to see that this is a public hearing, so the public is allowed to ask questions. I see that there's no one here but our friend from the Duluth News Tribune and staff members from ISD 709. Oh, great.
So just to be clear then too, was this up on our website and made aware, the public made aware of these?
We did publish in the newspaper that we were having a hearing.
Yep.
These were not posted on our website, but invited to come to the hearing to have discussion about the change.
And then they were made aware that it was those two precincts that were the only ones affected?
That there was a potential change in the, yep. Yep.
This is the first time I've ever seen Unorganized Precinct 23 at the very, very top of the townships.
So that's not ours. And I'm not
Okay.
sure why that has a dark, that is not ours.
Well,
Only the ones
according
in
to the
pink.
legend, it seemed like it was ours.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not. It's
Okay.
only the ones in pink, which are the townships which are in District 1.
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you
very
for the
much.
question though. Member Lafayette.
Yeah, not a question, more of a comment. This is something that I've been following for over a year now because of the impact at the national and state level besides at the local level. And so I know a lot of work goes into this every 10 years at the real local level in terms of school boards. And I know just from talking to my school board colleagues around the state, school boards, particularly in larger cities, are looking at this all over. So my comment is, I know that, again, that it's a lot of work goes into this. I appreciate the thought in terms of making sure across the city that the numbers of population, were close, and I know that was your task as well as the city and the county. I just wonder, how are we as a school district gonna make sure we publicize this so our voters and our parents and people understand how this came about, and so we're really
Absolutely.
transparent.
I thank you for that, and our hope is with the passage of the resolution, we'll provide some information on our website. I'm certain that our friends at the Duluth News Tribune will be writing a story. No? Yes? Yeah. And so we can provide that feedback as well. And again, if you look at the overall population, we didn't actually, our whole district did not change all that much. It was actually, as we were waiting for the information from the city and the county, just knowing the change and the development that's happened over the past 10 years, I think we were all kind of expecting some more variances. And it just so happened that all of the districts changed a little bit, but they were all within their guidelines. And keep in mind that we did have in District 3, there was a precinct 20 that collapsed, and it went into 21 and 19. So it was all in the same place. And there was minor changes to precinct 10 and I think precinct 8 from the city's perspective. They moved a couple blocks here and there, but they weren't anything major, and those are reflected in the population counts that they sent to us. So they did some minor changes within their precincts to keep their alignment together, but they were very minor. Yep.
So with what you just said and what I read here, to kind of correct something you said earlier when I asked you a question before, maybe next time. So if 21 goes if 20 collapses and it goes into 21, so there was people in District 3 that moved to District 4.
Nope,
That's what I see there, because 21's in District 4.
sorry, and I made a typo, 20 and 22. Sorry,
Okay, so
Yep.
this, so that 21 should be 22.
yep,
All
sorry,
right, thank
thank
you.
you.
In District 3, it
Yes.
says
In
this
District three.
population went to
Yep.
19 and 21, it went to 20.
22. Sorry. they
19
were
and
contiguous.
22?
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you for that, thank you.
I just, one other thing I meant to say is, and if there is a story on this, I would hope that we're really clear with the public that this is voting district changes, not
Not
student district changes.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. So these are election boundaries.
Yeah.
With no public here to ask any questions, no other questions from our board, there is a resolution being asked to outline the new precinct boundaries, and those would be in your, through the placeholder on the business services. And with that, I think we can close the public hearing.
So just before I close, it is, we'll address it under our resolution number 12 and read it aloud and
Yep.
vote on it? Okay. Does it need 2/3 or majority or,
I think it just needs a majority.
okay. So I'll adjourn our hearing.